Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you, sir.
So you're a Bachelor of Arts.
Yes, sir.
Honors or pass course?
Now tell me one thing.
Sir, pass course.
Pass course.
So you are a Bachelor of Arts and you appeared for the exam, you qualified, very nice.
And pass course, 2-year pass course, no?
No, sir, it was a 3 years graduation course.
And thereafter straight, first attempt
Sir, this is my 3rd attempt in CSC.
and first interview.
Yes, sir, first interview.
Good.
So anyway, you made it. And what was your optional for the exam?
Political science and international relations.
And you studied that in the graduation
College,
level
yes,
also.
sir.
So what really interests you in political science and international relations? Which part of
Sir, Indian polity part.
Indian
polity.
Indian polity?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, or Indian politics?
Sir, the Indian polity that deals with constitution as well as the politics of India, the scenario regarding it.
Now, which part of the constitution, you heard about the Indian constitution, and, it's a very big document, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But we had a 1935 Act also.
Yes, sir. The Government of India Act 1935.
And how big was that?
Sir, it was also of similar size.
Have you any acts like that? Have you heard of any government act which is so big?
Sir, to my limited knowledge, no.
So what is the Indian Constitution? Just a copy of that act?
Sir, Indian Constitution did take some of the structural features from that
If you
act.
read about the judiciary, every sentence, every comma, everything is there in the 1935 Act.
Sir, regarding this, Dr. Ambedkar had said that those features were good and those belong to the democratic principles, and it was suitable for India. That is why it was taken. And some of the provisions that they needed to change, they made some changes in it also as per the requirement of our time.
So when people say that it's just a copy of the 35 Act, you don't believe that.
Sir, not totally. Not totally. I believe that it was modified enough to suit our choices and our requirements of India. And sir, the basic democratic principles had been laid because America was one of the first democracies in the world, and after that it was 200 years after that we formed our constitution. So basic principles were already there, and those very principles were also in the Government of India Act of 1935. So when we took it, it was the general provisions that we took, and we also modified it according to our suitability. So I believe that it was a fine choice to make.
So how did we sort of, you mentioned about the American Constitution. It was already there. But did anybody go and study it, or just they saw it on paper here, and while formulating our own Constitution, did we do a special study of the American Constitution?
Sir, it is said that our constitution makers did refer to many other constitutions that was present at that time in the world.
But I'm talking of the American Constitution.
Sir, I am not very sure about the specifics.
But you see, what will happen if today somebody was doing something like this, and they say, well, the America has got a very nice thing. What do you think they will do? What would the person say?
Sir, regarding taking any act of America?
No, not act, anything. When you say, well, it's that the road is very good in America, and you want to build a road in India, so what would be the first thing that people will say? Or what would you say?
Sir, I would say it is a good idea. Anything which is good anywhere, we can always take the idea from there.
So what would be your advice? The first thing that will come to the mind of any Indian would be, well, yeah, if you say so, let me go and have a look at it, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you'll go and have a look at the
Yes, sir. Those people who are going to make, as in roads or infrastructure, they will have to go and consult the people there.
So
Yes, sir.
actually, that's what they did, no? They went to America to study the American
Oh,
Constitution.
thank you, sir.
No, I'm just saying. Okay. He was a civil servant, so he like all civil servants, he said, well, like, if you say America has got good constitution, I'll go there and study. So he actually did it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Tell me, Shivani. Most of the aspirants, they are all coming from engineering background. You're from humanities. What difficulties did you face in your earlier attempts?
Sir, at my personal level, prelims was acting as a hurdle for me, and I was not able to. In my first attempt, I faced problem because I was not fully prepared, and in the second attempt, sir, I missed by 4 or 5 marks. I do not think that I was not prepared, but it was. I believe that it was not a good day for me, sir. If we compare engineering and humanities, then in that sense I believe that civil services preparation has that much of scope of humanities subject that we are at better position to study the syllabus, understand it if we had done it as graduation level rather than the engineering students. I believe that they have to work extra hard for it.
The engineering students don't have an edge in CSAT?
Sir, they do have a edge in CSAT, but sir, firstly, it also has English comprehension part, and secondly, sir, CSAT is not CSAT is of qualifying nature. So, by doing some practices, we also are able to do that.
So English was your strong point.
Sir, it was a mix of English and maths in CSAT.
Okay. So which plays have you read Shakespeare?
Sir, the English in my graduation subject was compulsory English, which dealt with grammar, short stories, poetry. No, sir, it was not English literature.
Okay. You've heard of Shakespeare?
Yes, sir.
You've read any of his plays?
Sir, in class 10th we had Julius Caesar, some of the parts of Julius Caesar.
Oh, class 10 was way back.
Yes, sir.
Okay, doesn't matter. Tell me, where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years down the line?
Sir, if I get selected this time, then I would be working in civil services for public welfare, and I believe that whatever comes my way, I would give my best to it, and the promotions as I get, I would try to establish contact with people and work for public welfare.
But tell me, when you don't want to establish any contact with your home state people, what is the use of establishing contact with all kinds of people all over the country? You have given your option as I don't want my home state.
Sir,
I just want to know the reason why you don't want to establish contact with your home state people and do something for your home state people if you get into the IAS.
Sir, I chose Augmut cadre because my father is currently posted in Chandigarh. So Augmut cadre would provide me an opportunity to stay with them in Chandigarh. And
That is okay.
Choosing.
You see, wherever he is there in his own right. You are making a career and a life at this moment.
Yes, sir.
And you have to see what are the pros and cons of my existence in the years and decades to come. This is why I was asking you.
Yes, sir. Sir, while choosing Augmut cadre, two other reasons. First was the family factor, because I wanted to be with them. They would need me in coming future. Secondly, sir, it provides a diverse scope to work throughout India, And sir, choosing Ogmut Cadre, after choosing it, I did not get an opportunity to choose Bihar. So Bihar was lacking by that side.
Okay. Now tell me, you have seen Japan on the map?
Yes, sir.
What are the names of the 4 major islands which comprise Japan?
Sir, I am not
Doesn't
able to
matter.
recall. Hokkaido is one, but
Okay,
others.
Hokkaido is one. That is not the main island because Tokyo and other places are not located on Hokkaido.
Yes, sir.
Nagasaki, Hiroshima, which were bombed in the Second World War, they are not located on Hokkaido. Hokkaido is, of course, the northernmost island as compared. The others are Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. Now tell me, you've heard of the Kamchatka Peninsula?
Sir, sorry, sir.
Kamchatka Peninsula.
Sir, if I recall it right, it is a peninsula of Russia, in the far east.
In the Far East.
Yes, sir.
You are right. Tell me, international dateline
Yes, sir.
is what degree longitude? You
Sir.
have longitude,
Yes, sir.
huh? So at what degree is it? Is it an imaginary line?
Yes, sir.
Is it a straight line?
No, sir. It is
Zigzag? Why?
Sir, it was for accommodating some of the island which lied in the mid of it. So some of them were belonging to the eastern region, while some to the western countries like USA. So it became a zigzag
My
line.
last question. You've heard about the Arctic Circle?
Yes, sir.
Who does it belong to?
Sir, it is a global common.
Are you very sure?
Sir, I believe it is a global common. Though the countries there, they have formed the Arctic Council and they claim for its resources, but Arctic and Antarctic are global.
I'm talking about the Arctic. It belongs to 8 countries.
The members of Arctic Council.
It belongs to 8 countries and they govern the use and other things of the minerals and other things, expeditions, research in that area.
Thank you,
Okay?
sir.
Shivani,
Yes, sir.
your father is in income tax department.
Yes, sir.
So you've seen income tax right from childhood, working of income tax. You have grown up with that department. But still your preference is number 4 or number 5 here. What made you think that, what made you downgrade it,
Sir,
despite your familiarity with this turf?
Sir, I wanted to work in administrative part. So, for me, I wanted to establish contact with general public also and seeing.
Okay, fair enough. IAS and IPS will take care of that. Why then
sir.
foreign service is number 2?
Sir, foreign services.
Ahead of IPS and ahead of income tax?
Yes, sir. Sir, foreign services, I was attracted because the diplomacy part of it, I really liked it. And
Chalo, I'll leave it at that. You are fond, you participated in essay competitions.
yes, sir.
Give a topic of an essay where you did well and you wrote that.
I didn't do well, sir.
You did well,
Yes, sir.
or you got a prize or whatever it is.
Sir, one was the youth perception of Indian freedom struggle. So I got.
So you wrote on that.
Yes, sir.
So what did you write there? What was the substance of your essay?
Sir, I wrote about the freedom struggle.
No, youth
especially-
perception.
Yes, sir. So I gave a background of the freedom struggle a little bit. From 1857, especially, I focused on the modern part. And then regarding the youth perception, the crux was that I wrote that the youth today believes that all the factions that were present at that time, whether it be moderate or it be extremist or the revolutionary nationalists, that those all worked equally with equal endeavor towards.
So now I take you to another question. What was the role of revolutionary terrorism in the achievement of Indian independence?
Sir, regarding revolutionary terrorism, the Indian historians also said that it was a term pointed by the Britishers, and they would call it revolutionary nationalism because they were fighting for nationalist gains of India.
That always happens.
Yes, sir.
A terrorist fighting for a cause is treated as a revolutionary by their own friends. Go ahead.
So the
what was the
people,
role?
Yes, sir. The people there were the famous personalities were Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad during mid 1920s, and then one prominent figure was Surya Sen. So their role was basically the fighting and with the weapons. So they fought they believed that weapons would be destroyed by weapons, and those fear only would allow the Britishers to go away from India and provide freedom to us.
People say Mahatma Gandhi contributed a lot, brought about Indian independence. People say like that. What if Gandhi had not existed?
Sir, if Gandhi ji has not existed, his theory of ahimsa played indeed a very great role. Sir, then these factors, the extremists, the revolutionary nationalists would have worked. And sir, if we see the passage of history, the extremists also became moderates in 1920s. So that faction which worked in cooperation with Britishers to gain independence, which tried to persuade them, would have always existed. So I believe
some other Gandhi would have been there.
Sir, I believe so, but his role was really huge, and what factor he played.
Okay, how did Second World War catalyze the process of Indian independence?
Sir, with Second World War, the Britishers were lacking in economic terms. They had faced huge destruction, and the pressure from other parts of world was to to provide freedom to colonies. So
the British economy was under tremendous pressure.
Yes, sir.
I said your hobby is jogging, one of your interests.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between running, walking, and jogging?
Sir, walking is it is a difference of speed. The degree of speed in walking is slowest. It is a little fast in jogging and the fastest in running. And sir, there is a difference of contact also. So in walking we have a continuous contact with ground, while in jogging the continuity is maintained, but it is little lesser than walking. And in running we have moments of contact, but otherwise we usually are in aerial form.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Shivani ji,
Yes,
you've
sir.
spent large part of your life in Punjab.
Yes, sir.
Am I right? Although your family seems to belong to Bihar,
Yes, sir.
you were yourself born in Bihar. Am I
Yes,
right?
sir.
You still have extended family in Bihar?
Yes, sir.
You do. but
Maternal family is there.
is in Bihar. So you go to Bihar often.
Yes, sir.
Most of your life has been spent in Punjab.
Sir,
Right from there, still your home state. How is your
Sir-
place of birth is Bihar, but how is your home state Bihar? Yes,
Sir-
many of your parents were born there.
sir, actually, my maternal and paternal family belongs to Bihar. I was also born. My father got posted from one place to
That's
other,
the point.
and Agra was also there. Before Punjab, I was
Your father is an assistant commissioner income tax or
no,
income
sir,
tax
he's
officer.
income tax officer.
So then he would have in income tax department. Income tax officer is a Group B cadre, which is state specific.
Sir,
So if that means he was from in Punjab cadre, Punjab region. Am I right?
Sir, actually before joining income tax, he was working in Indian Air Force. So he was posted, getting transferred from one place to another. Agra was one of them, where he stayed for large part.
Okay. I interrupted. Go ahead. Sorry.
So Shivani,
Yes, sir.
you spend most of your life in the Punjab, so you know the Punjab economy. I'm going to ask you a question about the Punjab economy. Can you give us a sense of what you believe were the structural challenges of the Punjab economy well before COVID? Don't bring in COVID.
Sir, Punjab is doing well in agriculture, but the challenges there for smaller farmers, the adequate machinery is not available.
What kind of adequate machinery?
Sir, we see a large looming problem of stubble burning, so that is associated with it.
That's one problem, but are there other problems with agriculture?
Sir, in Punjab, I'm not sure.
You don't know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall I switch to another subject? Let me switch to another subject. You have been doing doodle art, right?
Yes, sir.
It's among your activities. Can you explain to us what is doodle art?
Yes, sir. Sir, doodle art is a free form of art in which we do not plan beforehand what we are going to draw. So we start it, and as for thoughts flow in our mind, we keep on drawing things, and it is largely unorganized in the sense that there is no rules, no boundaries. We can draw anything and everything in it. Imagination and spontaneity dominates in it.
So how many pieces or works have you created? Are they mostly on paper, or are they something? Are they physical?
Sir, they are on paper. I usually draw with a pen, and sir, when I study, when I take a break from study, I draw it. So usually these are small pieces, not very large pieces. 1 or 2 pieces I have drawn full pages. So they are in my room.
What are the full pages that you have drawn?
Sir, mostly I have seen my inclination towards botanical part of it. So I draw flowers, leaves, and
from memory. You don't have flowers in front of you.
Yes, sir. Whatever comes to my mind, whatever shape of flower, whatever design that comes to my mind related to it.
No, but what I'm trying to understand is, if you're drawing from, are you drawing from memory, or are you drawing sort of free-flowing thought?
Sir, it is free-flowing thought. There is no previous reference to it, as in what I am going to.
So you can have very outlandish rose, or very unusual sunflower that
yes,
you
sir.
might draw.
Yes, sir. Sir, the imagination part of doodle art is that only, and the beauty of it is that we can draw anything. Different shapes can be given. We can draw eyes of flowers. We can make a flower that is smiling to us. So we can draw anything. Thank you, sir.
Do you draw it usually on the margins of the notebook where you're working?
Sir, many times I have done that.
So this is how it begins. And thought process can distort the reality because it is reflecting how you see something.
Yes, sir.
And you use only pen, or you use other instruments to make doodle art?
Sir, I use different colors of pens, but
you
main...
bring in color into that. You're not just using the same pen with which you're writing, but you bring in other colors into it.
Sir, when I take a break from study, it is from that pen only. When I think of drawing on a different page, on a plain page, then I may take some
so you
different colors of
sometimes
pen.
Do that activity as a standalone activity. It's not extension of your other activities.
Yes, sir. Sometimes it is a conscious decision, and when it is subconscious, then it is from that pen only.
Okay, good. Any colors that repeatedly appear in your doodle art?
Sir, red color.
Red color repeatedly appears.
Yes, sir.
What emotion you think that reflects?
Sir, as I draw flowers with it, so I believe beauty is one.
Okay. Anyway, we move to something else now. You had your schooling in Punjab, Amritsar, right? And you had CBSE. So you didn't study Punjabi language there, or did you study Punjabi as one of the subjects?
Sir, I did not study Punjabi in school, but I did study in college as compulsory
That's why you
subject.
took Mudli Punjabi.
Sir, it was a compulsory subject in college, so Mudli
that was-
Punjabi.
Yeah, Mudli Punjabi is elementary Punjabi.
Yes, sir.
So what do you learn in that Mudli Punjabi?
Sir, we were first taught about the alphabets, the basics, then sentence formation, the grammar of it, and some portion was dedicated to culture of Punjab also.
Okay. So you have any idea when and how the Gurmukhi script came to light? Or if you can relate to who did that?
Sir, it is said that Guru Angad started Gurmukhi script, and he compiled some of the letters from Shahmukhi script as well as some other languages. And
Okay. And Amritsar's most important monument is Swarna Mandir.
yes, sir.
Who laid foundations of that Swarna Mandir?
Sir, Guru Ramdas laid. Sir, Guru Ramdas built Amritsar. Guru Arjan Dev laid foundation. During his time, its foundation was laid.
There were only one Guru son-father relation in the 10.
Guru Arjan Dev and Guru Har
You
Gobind
just
Singh.
named them, yes. Normally we joke sometime that in Punjab, the only culture is agriculture. And you said they also taught you about Punjabi culture.
Yes, sir.
What part of Punjabi culture appeals you particularly?
Sir, the food part, I am really the kulchas there and aloo parathas.
Thick with ghee.
Yes, sir, and they are very tasty.
Yeah.
They are full of spices.
But other than food, is
Yes,
there
sir.
any, I meant literature. In literature, what kind of literature would appeal to you?
Sir, I have not personally read any Punjabi literature,
So
but
your Punjabi reading is just elementary and you have not
Yes, sir.
followed it up by reading books in Punjabi.
yes, sir, it was.
No issues. In PSIR, what is your, I think you mentioned Constitution of India. Is that the area or is there another area that?
Sir, it was Indian polity part, so some portion of constitutions, some regarding the political system in India, political behavior of people,
Okay.
and
How many political parties we have here? Recognized political parties.
sir,
Any
It-
rough
it-
guess?
it-
Guess. I mean, I'm not expecting it.
5,000. There are around 5,000.
That's almost
parties.
10 times compared to what I'm asking. Recognized political parties.
Okay,
About
sir.
460 political parties.
Thank you, sir.
What qualifies for a political party to be called national political party?
Sir, there are certain criterias like
Yes, of course.
if a political party is recognized in 4 or more states, along with, sir, I'm not sure about seats. It is 1 or 2 seats in Lok Sabha. Then
rough.
one.
No need to be extremely accurate. I want to know you have an idea.
Yes,
There's
sir.
a certain percentage of votes that
Yes,
you
sir.
must have at national level.
8% of votes, and sir, there are if a party is have 2% of seats in Lok Sabha, then also it is recognized as national party.
And do you have any idea what is the membership that BJP today has that it claims to have?
Sir, I'm not very sure.
If I were to say this is now world's largest political party, as they claim,
Yes, sir.
any rough figure that would come to your mind?
Maybe 1 crore.
Okay, think of it, because this makes it interesting, because whole world knew till recently the Chinese Communist Party was world's largest political party, 95 million cadre. And now for last 2 years BJP has said that they are now the largest political
Sir, I will
party.
read about
Yeah,
it.
have an idea of how much political party it has.
How much is it?
180 million people now, and that's what they're saying. So
That is a large number.
Yeah, it's almost double compared to the Chinese political party. Tell me if you were, I'm now going to ask an opinion question to you. But before that, let me ask you also, what as a young woman you think you bring to the civil services? How will civil services be better service because you joined?
Sir, if I join civil services, I believe that.
Always say when I join. Don't say if I join.
Okay, thank you, sir. So when I join civil services, I will bring my own perspective about accommodation of diversity, living with different people of different perspective. And sir, I will try my best to bring efficiency, making civil services more people oriented than it is currently.
Always use examples. I like you mentioned diversity. Say I was born and I belong to a family which is from Bihar.
Yes, sir.
But I have throughout lived in Punjab. And,
I have also lived in Uttar Pradesh and in Punjab,
Use
and
those
currently I am residing in Haryana. So I will bring the Indianness also. In
so
services.
whenever discussion comes to you describing yourself,
Yes, sir.
always use people find me like this. Don't say I am honest.
Yes, sir.
And the moment you say people find me X by Z, follow it up with example. So when you said diversity, excellent. First thing you will bring diversity because these are, so you have to justify, reinforce why you are saying that.
Thank you, sir.
But anything else, because I said you as a woman.
Sir, diverse gender perspective in it.
I said
where-
you as a young woman.
Yes, sir.
Diversity is a correct answer, but I was meaning diversity could apply to young men
Sensitivity
also.
towards women and children issues, towards their education, health, safety in society, and sir, this is what comes to my
Okay,
mind.
good. My last question to you, as I said, will be opinion-based question. You have a deadline to deliver a task given to you, and you have to choose one subordinate to assign him or her to do that job. Now, one of those subordinate is very efficient but very dishonest. Other is very honest but inefficient. So you have a deadline of 6 hours, 10 hours to deliver something. Who you will choose to ask them to do the task? One is efficient but dishonest. Other is honest but inefficient. As a leader, as a boss, you'll have to assign one of them. So who you think you will assign?
Sir, I believe I will assign the person who is honest but inefficient, because I will also be there to guide him, and I will try to make him or her more.
It's a trick question. Most candidates end up saying the same thing, but you are a boss and you have a deadline. 6 hours. In 6 hours, you cannot change his efficiency. But as a
Yes,
boss,
sir.
in 6 hours, you can monitor he doesn't do or she doesn't do anything dishonest.
Sir,
And you cannot participate in the task because it's that subordinate's task. You are overlooking the task. So,
sir, my answer came because,
because you feel you want to support honesty.
sir, because I felt that if a dishonest person will do the task, he or she may manipulate it.
But that is where you, as a boss,
More important right now, delivery of result or his integrity? What is the objective? That's his question.
and you can control his honesty for 6 hours. But you can, in 6 hours, cannot make inefficient person. So you can say it's a difficult choice,
Yes, sir.
but because we have to deliver in a limited time, I think as a boss, I can definitely ensure that in doing that task, this person doesn't do anything which is not acceptable, but he is efficient, so he can deliver. You cannot change that person who is inefficient to deliver in 6 hours. Very honest. So instinctively, you can even say that instinctively one would like to support an honest person, but I think it's a tricky situation, it's a difficult situation, and therefore I think I, as a boss, will be able to monitor the honesty part of it. And therefore, for this particular time, I will of course choose. But ultimately, choose your answer. These are
Thank
all.
you, sir.
These are all ideas
it
that we
was
give.
a great insight.
Best wishes to you.
Thank you, sir.
So these are personality related interactions. So they will check a lot of your integrity, honesty, capacity to take tough decisions like this one. But you have to explain your tough decision.
Yes, sir.
Best wishes to you. I think God willing something good should come.
Thank you, sir.